Are there ways to strengthen my immune system?
So first of all, we were just before this conversation, Eric and I, with Mina and Kate, we always talk about what are the future segments or webinars we're going to do, and one of the ones that we discussed that we want to try to organize at some point in the next month is kind of debunking conspiracy theories that out there about COVID. Not necessarily that Eric and I would be, actually, we want to try to identify one or two good panelists that come in and to talk to you about all the things that you're probably seeing in social media that are like wrong. And some things that like
It's not
presidents.
caused by 5G antennas. It's not caused by 5G. We promise.
Yeah. And so, but that's a very valid question of what are things you can do to immune system. So before there was a pandemic, Eric and I actually did a lot of research in IBD on a number of different areas, including environmental health. So we're trying to study what are the environmental factors that made you at risk for developing IBD, and then if you had IBD, made you at risk for having worse outcomes, needing more surgery or being sick with your IBD. And not just Eric and I, but there's been research all over the world to look at what are the things that you can do to essentially minimize your risk of Crohn's disease. And really what we're getting at is how do we strengthen the immune system to prevent bad outcomes from the immune system. And there's now clear evidence from a number of different studies that a healthy life is associated with a healthy immune system. So the key things that you learned in elementary school, good diet, proper exercise, low stress, getting sleep, keeping a good healthy weight. These are all things that not only prevent heart disease, cancers, but also we've been able to show that also prevent the risk of developing IBD and also having worse outcomes. And those are the things that not only are they seen in kind of epidemiological studies, but there are really good basic science studies to explore how these healthy life things affect your health. And a lot of it has to do with your gut microbiome, all those trillions of organisms that your body's immune system is constantly processing. And you know, if you have a bad healthy lifestyle, that microbiome changes and then predisposes you to an immune system that's not strengthened. And just to give you one last example, Eric and I collaborated with an environmental health scientist from Health Canada who was worked on a study, and Eric, like you're the lead on this, to look at what's called green space or parks. And this is a study that's being presented, and it's currently the paper is being reviewed for publication. But essentially what it showed was that kids that played in parks, were lived closer to parks, closer to green space, they actually had less likely to develop Crohn's disease than those kids who were in very kind of dense environments and didn't have access to green space and so on like that. And so the message there is that, you know, these are things that you can do to make yourself healthy, not just, you know, pre-pandemic, during the pandemic. Home isolation doesn't mean staying in your home, in your basement. You can go outside, you can go for walks, you can go hikes. Alberta is going to open up the parks soon. Like, we want you to be outside, being exposed to the sun, being healthy. These are things that you can do to strengthen your immune system.
Absolutely. And there's actually an interesting story out there now, a study that looked at vitamin D and found that people who were deficient in vitamin D, as about 60% of Canadians are, tended to do worse if they got COVID-19. Now, again, this may be a story of, you know, correlation and not causation, just like the Nicolas Cage story. But we've seen that with IBD as well, that people with lower vitamin D levels are more likely to be diagnosed and more likely to flare up. And so, you know, getting out there, not necessarily getting out there in the hot summer sun, you know, you still use your sunblock, especially if you're on an immune suppressing medicine, but making sure your vitamin D levels are adequate. And, you know, we should all be on 1,000 international units of vitamin D every single day, just in case that makes your immune system slightly better at fighting this virus off.